my name's Sue, and I'd like to congratulate you on becoming the owner of a Suzuki Omnichord. In preparing this tape, I've assumed that you're a complete beginner and that you've never played a musical instrument before, but you'll be amazed how easy it is to play Omnichord. We'll be using the Omnichord song sheet, and we'll start right from the beginning. We'll work through the controls so that you're familiar with the instrument, and then we'll work step by step through the songs. I'll be giving you some examples to listen to and play along with. Don't forget that we'll be working at your own pace. If you want me to repeat some of the information, or you'd like to hear an example again, just rewind the cassette and play back the part that you wanted to hear. You can do this as many times as you like. I know you're going to enjoy playing your Omnichord, so let's get the instrument set up and ready to play. You will either find your Omnichord packed in a protective polystyrene box or in a carrying case. You should also find a Suzuki Book of Operating Instructions, a cleaning cloth for the touch plate, and your Omnichord song sheet. To follow this instruction tape, you'll need to be able to read your Omnichord song sheet, play your Omnichord, and be within easy reach of your cassette player so that you can stop the tape or rewind and play back as necessary. This is probably most easily done sitting at a table with your Omnichord, cassette player and song sheet in front of you, or you may prefer to rest your Omnichord on your lap. It really depends on which is most comfortable. Don't forget that if you're going to use mains power for your Omnichord, you'll need to be near a double power point. If you prefer to use batteries for your Omnichord, you'll need 8 batteries. They may be called R14, size C, HB11 or SUMZ, depending on which brand you buy. Look at the back of your Omnichord and you'll see the battery compartment, which is secured by a screw. This can be opened with a coin. There's a raised diagram on the compartment cover showing how the batteries should be arranged. Insert the batteries, replace the cover and tighten the screw again, making sure that the cover is secured firmly. Turn your Omnichord over and you are now ready to start. If you intend to use mains power, you'll need a 12 volts DC adapter, which is available from your local Omnichord stockist. If you intend to do most of your playing using mains power, it's advisable to remove any batteries from your instrument in case they leak and you damage your Omnichord. Look on the left of your instrument and you'll see a round master volume control and a red button marked power. The socket for the adapter can be found on the side of your Omnichord directly under the power button. It's marked DC 12V. Plug your adapter into the Omnichord and the 3-pin plug end into your mains power point, and you're now ready to start. Your Omnichord is divided into 4 main sections. On the left-hand side you have the controls which alter the sounds produced by the instrument. In the middle section you have the chord buttons which you use to follow the music. On the right-hand side you have the touch plate or harp section. This is the gold-coloured plate which has a metallic strip on it. You can strum the touch plate or harp to fit in with the song that you are playing. To the right of the touch plate there's a speaker. Let's look at the chord section of the Omnichord, which you'll find in the middle of the instrument. You'll see 3 lines of white buttons. Above the top line of buttons you'll see the letter names of the chords. Starting at the left they read E flat, B flat, F, C, G, D, A, E and B. The flat sign is shown as a small letter B. On the left of the chord bank you will see that each line of chords has been marked with the word major, minor or seventh. So to play a G major chord you'd press the G button in the top line. To play a G minor chord you'd press the G button in the middle line, and to play a G seventh chord you'd press the G in the bottom line. Each chord gives a different sound, and when you play a song with Omnichord, you use the chords to make an accompaniment for the tune you're playing. We'll deal with the chord section in more detail when we come to play a tune. Let's look at the touch plate next. The touch plate or harp is touch sensitive, and you use it to strum in time with the song you're playing. It's very much like strumming a guitar, but much easier as it's impossible to make a mistake. For instance, if you press an F chord, the sound when you strummed the touch plate would be automatically programmed to fit perfectly with the chord. Occasionally, the touch plate will get greasy or too moist. It can be cleaned with a cloth that comes with the instrument, following the instructions on the packet. Just to the right of the touch plate is a very much smaller metallic strip. This is also touch sensitive and can be used as an instant stop without turning the power off. Let's move to the left-hand side of your instrument now and go through the controls. At the bottom of this section you'll find a red power on-off button. Pressing this button turns on the power and a red display light will appear. To the right of the power button is the master volume control. Each sound produced on the Omnichord has its own volume control so that you can get the blend of sounds to your own liking. The master volume controls the whole instrument. Above the power and master volume controls is a section that deals with rhythm. There are 6 different rhythms to choose from: rock, waltz, slow rock, Latin, foxtrot and swing. You can experiment with different rhythmic combinations by pressing 2 buttons down at the same time. The rhythm volume control sets the volume level of the drum sound. If you wanted to cut out the rhythm completely, you would just turn the rhythm volume control as far to the left as it will go. The rhythm tempo control is used to set the speed of your rhythm. To speed up your rhythm, turn the control to the right, and to slow down, turn the control to the left. Listen to the example. I'm pressing the rock rhythm, speeding it up and slowing it down using the rhythm tempo control. Now I'm combining rock with foxtrot and altering the rhythm volume. The yellow synchro start or rhythm start button can be pressed to start the drum sound on its own, and it also controls the instant stop control next to the touch plate. If the synchro start button is pressed down, touching the instant stop control will stop everything except the drums. This gives you a drum solo. If you want the instant stop control to stop everything playing, make sure that the synchro start button is in the up position. Above the rhythm section, you'll find the controls for the chord section and for the harp. The yellow memory button holds the chord that you've pressed and keeps it playing until you press a different chord. For most of the songs that you play, the memory button should be pressed in. This means that when you're changing the chords, you don't have to keep your finger on the chord button all the time, but you can take your finger off the chord and it will keep playing, giving you time to find the next chord to be played. Here's an example. I'm changing between C, F and G 7th chords. With the memory button up, it will only play while I hold down the chord. With the memory button down, it will continue playing until I change the chord. Next to the memory button, you'll find the red Auto Bass manual chord button. This has 2 functions. When the button is pressed in, the chords that you press will give a sustained organ sound. When the button's in the up position, it gives you an automatic bass line that fits in with the rhythm that you've chosen. The chord volume control alters the volume of the chords. Turn the control to the right to make the chords louder and to the left to take the volume down. The harp volume control alters the touch plate volume in the same way. The harp sustain control alters the sound of the harp. With the control full to the right, the harp sound is full and ringing like a harp or Hawaiian guitar. As you turn the control to the left, the sound becomes shorter and drier and more like a piano or harpsichord. In this example, I'm using the chords C, F and G 7th again. Here they are with the Auto Bass chord button pressed down and the rhythm volume control turned right down. These are the sustained chords. Now I'm releasing the Auto Bass chord button and you'll hear the bass line that fits with the rhythm. I'm turning the rhythm volume up again now. Okay, now I'm going to strum the harp. I'm turning the harp volume down and now up. Now I'm altering the harp sustain. You can hear it change as the control goes to the left and back again. It's all very well me explaining the controls. Let's play a song with your instrument and get the controls working. First, find your song sheet and look at the song Edelweiss. At the bottom of the page, you'll see a section marked Suggested Settings. These tell you how to set up the instrument ready to play the song. Press the power button. The red indicator light should now be on. Now we're going to work through the controls from the top of the instrument to the bottom, matching them with the suggested settings on Edelweiss. First of all, press the yellow memory button in. Make sure that it stays down. OK. The red auto bass chord button should be in the up position. Press the button a few times so that you're sure when it's up. Next, match the harp sustain, harp volume and chord volume controls with those on the diagram. When you've done this, press the waltz button in the rhythm section. Next, make sure that the synchro start button is in the up position. And last of all, match the rhythm tempo and rhythm volume controls with those on the diagram. OK, now we're ready. In a moment, I'll ask you to press the G button in the top line of chords, but wait till you've heard the example. When you press the G button, you should hear a bass line, accompaniment and drums. Run your fingers up and down the touch plate to make sure it's working. Listen to the example and then press the G button in the top line of chords. If your Omnichord is making a different sound, check again that each of the controls on your Omnichord matches those on the suggested settings. If you've set them correctly, your Omnichord should sound very much like mine. To stop, press the instant stop control next to the touch plate. Listen. Everything okay? Now let's look at the song. You'll see that the page has been divided into blocks or bars. At the top of the page you'll see the count numbers written over the top of the bars. When you've heard the example, press the G button in the top line of chords and listen to the beats. You should be able to count 1, 2, 3 with the rhythm. To stop, press the instant stop control. Practice counting with the beats like this. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The chords of this song always change on beat 1, and the most important thing about playing is to change the chords at the right time. You'll need to use your left hand to press the chord buttons. This leaves your right hand free to use the touch plate, but for now we'll concentrate on the chords. Listen to me playing the introduction. 1, 2, 3. G, D7, G, and G, and press the automatic stop. Now I'm going to turn the rhythm tempo down just to the left of centre. You can do the same, so that we're going a little more slowly, and I'll go right through the song. Listen to me first and follow the chords on your song sheet. 1, 2, 3. G, D7, and G, and G. Now at the verse. G, and D7, and G, and C, G, and E minor, and A minor, and D7, G, and D7, and G, and C, G, and D7, and G again. D, and D7, and G, and G7, C, and A7, and D, and D7. Nearly there. G, and G7, and C minor, G, and D7, and G again, and touch the automatic stop. In a moment, I'll ask you to rewind the tape and play the song again. This time, turn the master volume control right down on your Omnichord and practice pressing the chord buttons at the right time with the tape. It may take a few run-throughs before you can do this perfectly, but you can practice as many times as you like. Don't forget to use your left hand to change the chord buttons. Then you can turn me off, turn your master volume control up, and try it on your own. You can rewind the tape now. How did you get on? Okay? Now that you feel more at ease about changing the chords, let's use the harp. I'm going to play the song again, and each time I change the chord, I'm going to run my thumb up the touch plate so that I press and strum at the same time. Listen to me first, then rewind the tape and try it with me with your volume turned down, just to get both hands working together. Then you'll be ready to try it for yourself. Okay, off we go. 1, 2, 3. Once you've mastered this, you're nearly there. All you have to do now is turn the rhythm tempo control back to the position shown in the diagram, and you'll be playing at the right speed. You may like to try some variations on the harp. This becomes easier with practice, but I'll give you a few ideas that you might like to try out. I'm tapping my fingers, going up the touch plate, and now down. Now I'm going to combine those patterns with the strumming you've already done. You'll soon find a style that suits you. There's no set way to play an Omnichord. The choice is yours. Now for the next song. Turn your song sheet over and you'll find the music for Bill Bailey. First of all, match your controls with the suggested settings at the bottom of the page, in the same way that we did when we set the controls for Edelweiss. All set? OK. In a moment, I'll ask you to press the D7th button in the bottom line of chords, but wait till you've heard the example. When you press the D7th, you should hear a bass line, accompaniment and drums. Run your fingers up the touch plate to check that it's working. Listen to the example, and if your Omnichord is making a different sound, check that each of the controls on your Omnichord matches those on the suggested settings diagram. If you've set them correctly, they should sound very much like mine. Listen. Everything okay? Good. Now we'll go through the song in exactly the same way as we did with Edelweiss, starting with the count numbers. You will see that the bars of this song are marked 1, 2. When you've heard the example, press the D7th button in the bottom line of chords and listen to the beats. You should be able to count 1, 2 with the rhythm. To stop, press the automatic stop control. Practice counting with the beats like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I'm going to turn the rhythm tempo down. You do the same so that we're going a little more slowly, and I'll play through the song. Listen to me first and follow the chords on your song sheet. 1, 2, and D7th, G7th, and C, and G7th, C, and C, and C, and C. C again, and another one, and then a G, and a G, G7th, and G7th, and G7th, and the same again, and a G7th, and a G7th, and a C, and a G7th, and a C, C, and C, and C, and C7th, C7th again, and an F, F again, and an F minor, and a C, and A7th, and D7th, and G7th, and C again, touch the automatic stop. In a moment, I'll ask you to rewind the tape and play the song again. Turn your master volume control right down and practice pressing the chord buttons at the right time with the tape. Once again, it may take a few run-throughs before you can do this perfectly, but you can practice as many times as you like. Remember, use your left hand to press the buttons. When you've practiced with me a few times, turn your master volume control back up and try it on your own. You can rewind the tape now. How was that? Okay? Let's try it with the touch plate now. I'll play it again, strumming as I press the chord, just as we did before. You could turn your volume down again and practice with me. Okay, off we go. 1, 2, and... how did you get on? You should be finding it easier now. All you need to do now is to work on your own style of playing the harp for this song, and then match the rhythm tempo with the diagram again to play the song at the right speed. So, congratulations, you've played your first 2 songs. What next? Well, you'll be pleased to know that a new Omnichord songbook containing 28 songs is available from your local Omnichord stockist. All the songs are written in the same easy-to-follow Omnichord language as your song sheet, and have suggested settings that you can use. Of course, you can also use any easy guitar music that uses chords, although you'll obviously not get the settings which are specially designed for Omnichord. So, good luck, and we wish you many happy hours of music making with your Omnichord.